Hi everyone! Hope you've had a great week this week. I loved hearing everyone's mammal reports and seeing all of your dioramas. I've been checking on Epic and IXL to see how you guys are doing on your online learning and what books you're reading and how many math problems you're working on. So keep doing that. I can see your work that you're working on and what you're doing, and so I'm glad that many of you are doing a great job. Matter of fact, I think about 5 of you have already completed all your assignments for this week, so that's really great. So if you haven't been on Google Classroom, of course I can tell that too. So make sure that you're getting busy in the morning or have some time in the afternoon with mom or dad so you can get your work done. So of course this week you've been learning a lot about Earth Day and how to recycle, reuse, and reduce. So I want to just take a quick second today for our last video this week and just kind of talk about some things that you might have around the house, some things that you can do to actually reuse, recycle, and reduce. So let's review first of all, right? Recycle, something used, something that's already been used, and you can turn it into something new, right? Repurpose it, right? And that goes right along with reuse, to use something over again instead of throwing it away, right? We can use it over again. And then also to reduce, to use a smaller amount of something, right? We talked about water and electricity and how we don't want to be wasteful with those things. So with those things in mind, I came up with a few ideas that might inspire you or make you think twice before throwing something away. Some fun little, they're not art projects, but fun little things, fun little ideas that maybe you can do at home to kind of, reduce trash around your house. Okay, so the first thing is, a friend of mine was getting rid of a candle holder, and I really liked it, and she didn't want any more, and so I got it. I bought it from her, and then I just repainted it. And so now I have it in my laundry room. It's just a little pretty candle holder with some birds on the top, and she didn't want it. She thought it was kind of ugly and dingy, and so I just repainted it. And so now I have something new for me that I really like. So that's one way to recycle something. Maybe spruce it up a little bit with a little bit of paint, right? Another thing is, here is just a plain glass jar, right? This maybe had some canned soup or some canned peaches or some pickles, whatever. And so the first thing I'm going to do with my little glass jar is I'm just going to tie a ribbon around it. And that's just going to make it look a little fancier, a little prettier, right? And you'll see in a second a few different ways to use just a plain jar, something simple that you might have around the house. Just make sure that you have washed it off really good, right? And you could use any kind of little ribbon or shoestring or just something maybe with a little bit of color around it. And with Mother's Day coming up, right? Maybe you want to just use your little glass jar and go out and pick some flowers, right? And now it becomes a really pretty little vase to give to your mom or to your grandma, right? You could set it on somebody's porch and give a little surprise. Maybe you don't have flowers, but maybe you have a small candle, right? So you can stick your candle in there. Right now it's a little candle holder. You can maybe put this out while you're sitting outside. It would be protected in the glass jar, right? Now you have a little candle maybe to put on the table or to give to Grandma for Mother's Day, right? Or maybe you don't have any of that, but you have some little candies, right? So now I'm going to fill up my little jar with my bow with some candies, and now it becomes a nice little gift for somebody, right? If you have different, maybe you know somebody who really likes M&Ms or Candy Kisses, right? Maybe Dad has favorite candy, right? You can sit this on the bathroom sink as a surprise for him to say thank you for, going to work every day on Father's Day or whatever. So it's just a plain glass jar. I just put a little ribbon on it to make it look a little fancier, and I could use it 3 different ways. It's a candle holder, a little gift jar for candy, and then also a vase for flowers. Okay, another thing that you probably have around your house are containers, right? Containers like this. This was from Lunch Meat, right? And it's really nice because it has a lid and it's see-through. And so you can keep lots of things in here. So maybe if you have a Barbie collection, maybe you want to put purses and shoes in here to keep them together so they don't get lost, right? One thing that my boys always like to do is they like to sort their Legos by color. And so this is kind of nice if you have certain pieces or certain colors of Legos, right? You might want to use this. You can stack them up together, have all your blue ones together, or maybe you want one with just wheels and tires in it, right? But you can see it on your shelf and they stack up really easily. So it's another way to repurpose just a plastic container that you might have had food in it. Now, I use these a lot in school. You've probably seen them at math centers. And then I use them at home as well for like leftovers, and I'll freeze extra spaghetti sauce in them, or I'll put leftovers like leftover lasagna that I want to have the next day for lunch. Okay, another fun thing is just a regular toilet paper tube, right? And so I'm just going to take some tissue paper and I'm going to put a little piece of tape on my tissue paper, right? Just going to put a little piece of tape right here. And I'm going to make sure my toilet paper roll is in the middle of my tissue paper. So I have some on this side and I have some on this side. And I'm just going to roll that up like this. And I'm going to take a ribbon and I'm going to tie one side like in a little pretty bow or whatever. You can use any color you want. I'm just going to use red because that's what I happen to have. And so after my one end is tied, and you're going to want to make sure your one end is tied, because I'm going to now look deep inside there. You can see the toilet paper roll. Now I'm just going to stick some candy in there, right? And I'm going to fill that up with just some little candies, something that maybe you like or something that a friend likes, right? And then I'm going to wrap the other side up and tie it with a ribbon on the other end, right, with a little bow. And now I have like a little party favor that I could give to a friend, or I have a little surprise to hand to somebody who might be feeling sad, right? And inside is a little surprise with some little candy. You could write something on the side like happy birthday, or I love you, or I miss you, or happy Valentine's Day. But that's a fun way to just use leftover tissue paper and a paper towel roll. Okay, another thing is just my can of peanuts. And so I cut a rectangle, right, because we know a rectangle goes around the outside of a cylinder, and this is a cylinder shape from our geometry. So I'm just going to tape my paper around my can here, and then I'm going to use my imagination, and I'm just going to decorate my can, right? So maybe I want to put a picture of me or put a picture of my family on it, right? Maybe I want to put my initials on it, right? So I could put an L because, of course, my first name is Leslie. I could do that. Maybe I have some stickers, so I want to decorate the outside with stickers, right? So I can do that around it and make it look kind of pretty or kind of nice, right? However you want to decorate it on the outside. And now this becomes maybe a pencil holder, right? If I want to use it for my desk. Maybe I want to put crayons or markers. Maybe I want to put paintbrushes on here as well. Maybe I want to use a label like this, and I want to label the outside of it. So maybe I want to put something like this on the outside. And I might write, you know, thumbtacks or staples, something like that. Or write my own name on it. You know, maybe this would be my cup, and my brother and sister each have their own too. And you could reuse it for snacks again. Maybe you want to put some goldfish in there, or some fish, fruit snacks, right? Because of course this has a lid. And so that would be kind of fun, maybe to take in the car if you need a snack, or to sit in front of the TV, right? So there's lots of ways to repurpose or reuse things without throwing them away, things that you can do with things that you have around your house. So I hope that inspires you to do some fun things and think a little bit creatively with what you have at home, and to reduce some trash and to have some fun while you're doing it. Maybe even surprise somebody with a little sweet treat that you thought of or that you did on your own. So I hope you will be looking around your house for some ways to recycle or to reuse or to repurpose some items instead of throwing them away. So I will see you all next week I'm getting some assignments ready, and I think we're going to be doing a butterfly theme for next week. So you guys have a great afternoon and a great weekend.